Hello, welcome to Outside Xbox. You're watching Show of the Week. I'm Jane.
And I'm Andy. This week I did a terrible job of telling the time in Overwatch.
Guess what time it is? That's right, high noon.
What time is it, Andy? Yeah, that was very clearly night time.
Hey, it's high noon somewhere. Also this week I've been getting into the new game in the Battlefield series.
Oh yeah, what's that about this time? World War II, Vietnam, some near future conflict. Real original, guys.
Well actually,
what
Jane,
about the Boer War for a change? Or like the 100 Years' War? Or the War of the Roses?
You done?
The Anglo-Zanzibar War of 1896?
Okay, great. Now listen to this.
Battlefield 1 is actually, Jane, set in World War I, also known as the Great War, the First World War, and the war that hardly anyone makes first-person shooters about.
Edward's behind!
But that last one hasn't stopped DICE from setting their new game in a conflict that was one of the most bloody and horrifying in modern history. And to DICE's credit, that comes across as well as you could expect in an FPS. The game's single-player mode is known as War Stories, and it's a varied collection of various missions played from different perspectives in the war, each of which attempts to convey a fraction of the horrors that soldiers underwent. The prologue, for example, instead of allowing you to respawn when you die, puts a memorial for the character who was just killed on screen, gives you a heartbreaking quote from another soldier, then drops you into their shoes to carry on.
Let me tell you, it was no adventure.
Other Battlefield 1 war stories follow a British tank crew, a gambler/pilot, and Lawrence of Arabia's desert campaign against the Ottoman Empire, and these give you short, engaging stories to follow.
You're George Rackham, son of the 4th Earl of Windsor. That's right.
They also provide a refreshingly repetition-free mix of things to do that also serve the purpose of training you up in the skills you'll need for multiplayer, like not crashing a plane the second you get into it, Mike.
Good flying, though some of it wasn't exactly by the book.
Speaking of multiplayer, as this is a Battlefield game, that's where most players will be spending most of their time, in multiplayer modes such as the new Operations. Operations is a longer game mode in which one side pushes forward while the other defends, much like Rush, but it also involves capturing flags and can take place over multiple different maps. And if you're not doing so well, don't worry, the side currently losing gets the chance to make a comeback with an armoured train, a dreadnought, or a massive zeppelin. Another new mode is the excellently titled War Pigeons, which sadly isn't a clash between giant iron birds with flamethrower beaks, but rather an objective-based mode where you have to capture a pigeon on the map, run around not getting shot for long enough to write a message, and then release it to score a point for your team and bring an artillery strike down on your enemies.
The enemy has released the pigeon.
If all that sounds too complicated or pigeon-heavy, there are also classic modes Rush, Domination, Team Deathmatch and Conquest for you to be getting on with, which play much the same as in previous Battlefields, only the guns are now more old-timey and there's usually mustard gas everywhere. So that's Battlefield 1, which is out today on Xbox One, PS4 and PC. Just bear in mind that EA Access subscribers have had 10 hours of practice already.
Lost objective butter.
Ah, those Battlefield moments.
What's more, as an amateur historian myself, I find it fascinating to see a global conflict that's mostly ignored by popular culture interpreted as a first-person shooter.
Yeah, and you can turn into a pigeon as well.
What?
Yeah, a pigeon, and fly around the place.
Really?
Yeah, loads of games are doing it. Just watch.
I'm designed to kill. Kill when people laugh at my face. My face ain't funny.
When you're looking to mix up things in your video game, what better way than by turning your ordinary human player character into some exciting animal for a bit? Sure, you'll have to come up with a reason for that happening, but that can be anything you like. Here, I'll show you. Now, you're probably wondering why, in a thoughtful and respectful treatment of the First World War, you would suddenly transform into a pigeon. Me too. I mean, I had a theory about High Command developing an experimental were-pigeon serum, but like I say, just a theory. In fact, it's actually, amazingly, a very tastefully handled scene in which your stricken tank crew releases a carrier pigeon carrying a message to High Command.
Edwards! Release the pigeon
There's an order, son! Do you understand me?
And you guide said pigeon through the skies above the chaos below to a haunting piano tune. Oh, and if you've been playing Far Cry Primal recently, note that you can't dive bomb people and attack them with your razor-sharp pigeon talons thanks to nerds like Andy. Historical accuracy and all that. If you were wandering around in the middle of nowhere and found a strange plant, you probably wouldn't put it in your mouth immediately, right? Right. Well, that's why you're not turning into a cool animal like the characters in GTA 5, you square.
No, I'm a pug? I used to be a man, and now I'm a pug? Why?
Actually, yeah, that's peyote, so don't do that on account of the terrifying mind-bending hallucinations where you're now an animal. Still, these guys seem to be enjoying themselves.
Oh! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Shit! Yeah!
Okay, so in Call of Duty Ghosts, you don't actually warg into Riley, canine defender of the American way, like we'd initially hoped.
Logan, sync up with Riley.
Instead, you control him via a headset camera, a high-tech doggy vest, and a military chic iPad. The effect, though, is exactly like playing a mini stealth game in which you're a German shepherd who does a lot of sneaking around in long grass, stealth takedowns, and eavesdropping on complicated human conversations you have no way of understanding. Who doesn't know what's a Firebase Charlie? You don't! No, you don't! Assassin's Creed 3 introduces its animal gameplay section by taking you inside one of the most treasured and secretive of Native American rituals. The process by which a young person comes of age by holding a first civilization artifact, chatting to a holographic goddess,
Greetings, Guardian.
and then turning into an eagle.
Follow me.
I feel like there are better places for us to have this chat, Juno, than when I'm desperately trying to figure out how to flap my wings and not crash into a tree at the same time.
We have waited millennia for your arrival. You, who will bring to him the last piece, that he may open the door.
I do not understand.
This was the extent of Connor's animal powers right up until the DLC called The Tyranny of King Washington, in which everyone decided, F it, Connor can transform into an eagle now and attack people, why not? Like some kind of secret history brave star.
Eyes of the hawk, ears of the wolf, brave star. Brave star. Rays of the fan, feet of the puma.
1994's Rise of the Triad was an innovator in many ways, introducing such now standard FPS features as bullet holes, breakable glass walls, and level-over-level environments. It also had a power-up that turned you into a dog for 30 seconds. That's less of a genre standard now, that one. Depicted as a bone in a glass capsule, dog mode turns you into an adorable dog who is impervious to bullets, can bite people to death, and can unleash the BarkBlast, a shockwave attack that apparently dogs have been keeping quiet about since 1994. Man, cats need to step up their game. Now it's time to see what's in the comments and on Rockstar's YouTube channel.
There's something new on Rockstar's YouTube channel.
When the time comes, you gotta run and don't look back. This is over.
He'll be fine in a second. Let's start with your comments on this video of Andy and I playing FIFA 17, The Journey. Shut it, dickhead.
Shut it, Williams. No one asked you. Ain't no muting the Williams, mate. Just gotta let it flow.
Ain't no muting the Williams. That's a dreadful catchphrase. Commenter Jay Langley thinks that there should be an achievement called Williams Muted. It would bear the description, you have finally muted the Williams. But then again, there ain't no muting the Williams, so could be a tough task.
As we found out when we weren't allowed to go with our original plan.
What do you think his problem is? Mommy and Daddy stop his pocket money or something?
Yeah. Yeah, nice.
Sick burn.
Nice, man. You told him. All right. I think our primary aim in this match should be injuring that guy
to bits.
Just shatter his femur.
Commenter Wolfrix picked up on some hostility from us, saying, our primary aim should be injuring that guy. Guys, do us a favour, never ever play football in real life.
Yeah, there's very little chance of that happening.
I wouldn't worry. We're about as good as young Alex Hunter, who commenter Chloe Imogen is also a fan of, saying, I never thought football could be so entertaining. I had convulsions when Mike went for the goal. Okay, go.
Oh, we did! Next up this week, your comments on this video about the sarcastic achievements that made us feel like idiots. Some games, however, include sarcastic achievements that pop when you do something bad, just to really rub it in. Here are 9 of the worst burns we've ever received from an achievement.
Commenter Hayden Myers says, was it just me, or did everyone just destroy the city for fun in Superman Returns? Just me? Okay.
Yeah, I think everyone did that, Hayden.
I'm pretty sure it's where Zack Snyder gets all his ideas.
Philip Hunn, meanwhile, thinks that getting the achievement for pointlessly licking all the way through a candy cane barrier in Saints Row 4 is funny, especially since the game itself can't quite believe you're wasting your time doing it.
Minty. Oh, it's locked.
Finally, Kia46107 says, I would have gone with Pit Boss for Portal 2, considering all that Wheatley promises you. Well, yeah, how are you supposed to resist all that?
You've got yacht and boys. Loads of boys, fellas, hunky guys down there, possibly even a boyfriend. Who's to say? I'm not sure at this stage, but a lot of good-looking fellas down there, and a boy band as well that haven't seen a woman in years. And they're not picky at all. They don't care if you've got a bit of brain damage, if you've been running around, if you've been sweating, and a farm, a pony farm.
I'm gonna go jump in that pit.
The pit isn't real.
You both make good arguments.
Moving on, here are your comments on last week's show that looked at Titanfall 2 and ranked video game jacks in order of their robot affinity.
As excited as we are for a dedicated Titanfall 2 story campaign, unmemorably named pilot hero Jack Cooper has his work cut out for him. Not just with befriending a bereaved bot out on the dangerous frontiers of space, but also with setting himself apart when video games are already crowded with dudes named Jack. Consider the competition and how much more or less compatible these other Jacks might be with BT, the Titan partner of Jack Cooper.
Commenter Jack Cooper has issues with Jane's comments about the main character of Titanfall 2's name, saying, I can't believe Jane thinks Jack Cooper is an unmemorable name. That's my name, and I remember it like 80% of the time.
Sorry, Jock,
Jack.
We promise not to forget your name in future.
Carter?
Something beginning with a C. Probably scared someone would knock the stuffing out of you.
It's terrible.
I guess you're not the best in your field.
I know you can hear me.
And on the subject of scarecrow puns, commenter WhammyTime91 says, frankly, I think Andy's scarecrow antics should get him a promotion. He's really outstanding in his field.
Finally, commenter Reese Cow thinks that you should have had Raiden from Metal Gear Solid. He's a jack of all trades.
Over with.
I mean, that's more like one very specific trade.
Yeah, I couldn't see him working at Starbucks or anything.
Yeah, you see the state of this latte you gave me this morning?
Does that say Mark?
Right?
Unforgivable.
That's it for Show of the Week. Thanks for watching. But before you go, you are standing in front of a YouTube video. There is a like button.
I pressed the like button.
Success! You win the internet and 1 million gold pieces and are now king or something.
Yes! Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. There's like a scepter and a crown with that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, of course.
Good golden sword.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. All right, good show. Must be lunchtime or something.
It's high noon.
Is it?
I don't know.